Donald Trump denied any connection to Jeffrey Epstein today, blaming Democrats for everything, saying, "I didn't know that guy at all." When asked if he would sign the release of the Epstein files into law, again he tried to deflect, falsely claiming it distracts from his successes on affordability, adding that it would never be enough for everybody, calling the entire matter one gigantic hoax. We had nothing to do with Epstein. The Democrats did. All of his friends were Democrats. You look at this Reed House thing, you look at Larry Summers, Bill Clinton, they went to his island all the time. Many of us, all Democrats. We've done a great job. And I hate to see that deflect from the great job we've done. So, I'm all for it. You know, we've already given 50,000 pages. You do know that. Unfortunately, like with the Kennedy situation, with the Martin Luther King situation, not to put Jeffrey Epstein in the same category, but no matter what we gave, it's never enough. You know, with Kennedy, we gave everything and it wasn't enough. With Martin Luther King, we gave everything and it's never enough. We've already given, I believe the number is 50,000 pages. 50,000 pages. And it's just a Russia hoax as it pertains to the Republicans. Now, I believe that some of the people that we mentioned are being looked at very seriously for their relationship to Jeffrey Epstein, but they were with him all the time. I wasn't at all. The political drama surrounding the potential release of files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein reached a fever pitch this week, culminating in a dramatic reversal by Donald Trump. After months of resistance from the White House and its allies in Congress, Trump abruptly announced his support for a House vote to compel the Department of Justice to release a comprehensive tranche of Epstein-related documents. This unexpected shift, driven by internal party pressure and an impending legislative maneuver, avoids a potentially embarrassing public split within the Republican Party and reframes the ongoing controversy. The catalyst for this political showdown was the Epstein Files Transparency Act, a bipartisan bill spearheaded by Representatives Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna. The proposed legislation aims to mandate the DOJ to publicly disclose all unclassified records, communications, and investigative materials in its possession concerning Epstein and his co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell. While the bill includes limited exemptions to protect the personally identifiable information of victims and genuinely classified materials, its core purpose is to force maximum transparency on a case that has long fueled conspiracy theories and public outrage. For weeks, this transparency effort was blocked by the House Republican leadership, forcing Massie and Khanna to resort to a rarely successful legislative tool, the discharge petition. Under House rules, if a simple majority of members, 218 signatures in the 435-member chamber, sign such petition, it forces a measure to the House floor for a vote, bypassing the leadership's control. The effort achieved its magic number last week with the 218th signature secured by Representative Adelita Grijalva shortly after she was sworn into office. Despite his previous opposition to the measure, Speaker Mike Johnson conceded to the inevitability of the vote. Once the petition succeeded, Trump and his allies were fiercely opposed to the bill, branding the entire effort as a political smear campaign. Democrats, however, saw Trump's opposition as a deliberate attempt at a cover-up. Donald Trump appears to have chickened out on the Epstein scandal. He's caved. It's a complete and total surrender. Because, as Democrats, we made clear from the very beginning, the survivors and the American people deserve full and complete transparency. As it relates to the lives that were ruined by Jeffrey Epstein, who was a monster, and all of those folks who were dealing with him, the wealthy and the well-off, and people who are going to be exposed in full transparency. That's been our commitment from the very beginning, and it's closer to happening this week. The House will act decisively, the Senate needs to act, and Donald Trump just needs to step out of the way and let the chips fall where they may. Robert Garcia, the ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, which has been releasing Epstein documents, accused the president of trying everything to kill our Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Garcia stated that Trump was panicking because he realized he was about to lose the vote, asserting that the president already possesses the unilateral power to release the files himself without any legislative action. According to Garcia, Trump's delay and the launch of new unrelated investigations were merely ploys to continue this cover-up and launch bogus new investigations to deflect and slow down our investigation. The controversy was amplified by the release of a new batch of emails by the House Oversight Committee provided by the Epstein estate. These emails, with which the White House disputed, are selectively leaked by Democrats to create a fake narrative to smear Donald Trump, allegedly included a 2019 communication from Epstein claiming Trump knew about the girls, and a 2011 email suggesting Trump spent hours with someone the committee identified as a victim. The White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt strongly disputed the validity and context of these emails. Facing an inevitable House vote, Trump made the stunning reversal over the weekend, announcing on Truth Social that House Republicans should vote to release the Epstein Files because we have nothing to hide. His first change of heart appears to be motivated by two main factors. First, the success of the discharge petition meant a floor vote was imminent, and a significant number of Republicans, including conservative figures like Representative Nancy Mace, Lauren Boebert, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, were poised to break with the White House and vote for the bill. This mass defection would have been a major political embarrassment, highlighting Trump's diminishing control over a key segment of his party. By appearing to support the vote, Trump avoids the appearance of a defeat and prevents a high-profile demonstration of disunity. Secondly, political calculation likely extends to the Senate, where the bill is expected to pass the House. Its fate remains uncertain in the GOP-controlled Senate, and even if it clears the upper chamber, it would still require the president's signature to become law. Given his current support, it is still possible the Senate could kill the bill, or that Trump could ultimately refuse to sign it, effectively claiming a moral victory for transparency while preventing the file's actual release. As Representative Massey noted, the president could release all the files himself, suggesting the pivot is a political maneuver rather than a true commitment to immediate release of the files. The Epstein saga has resonated deeply with Trump's conservative base, many of whom have long expressed outrage over the perceived cover-up and demanded greater transparency. By now aligning himself with the push for release, Trump seeks to placate this critical segment of his support, reframing the issue as a Democrat hoax that he, the ultimate victor, has now vanquished in his efforts to achieve great success of the Republican Party. The Epstein Files Transparency Act is now poised to pass the House, but its journey is far from over. It must still successfully navigate the Senate and ultimately be signed into law by the president. Listen to the I don't care about it, released or not. What I think you should do, if you're going to do it, then you have to go into Epstein's rents. This Reed Hoffman spent a lot of time on the island. I was never on his island. Wait, I know nothing about her. What release the most? All the phone. Well, they can have whatever they want. They already do. I think they have 50,000 pages already. Look, this is a Democrat hoax. This is a hoax put out by the Democrat. Yet a couple of few Republicans have gone along with it because they're weak and ineffective. Regardless of the outcome, the intense, weeks-long legislative fight and the president's 11th hour pivot underscore the political volatility of the Epstein case and the growing bipartisan demand for full public disclosure regarding the sex offender's network and the circumstances of his crimes. The focus now shifts to the Senate and to the question of whether this sudden commitment to transparency will hold as the bill progresses towards the president's desk. Meanwhile, a new Economist YouGov poll has shown that Donald Trump's approval rating among white voters has dropped to its lowest point of his second term, underscoring a broader decline that could complicate Republican prospects in the midterm elections. The survey found that 47% of white respondents approve of Trump's performance, while 50% disapprove, placing his net approval at -3, a figure that marks a significant shift for a voter group that has long been a crucial part of Trump's white supremacist supporter base. I'm Anthony Davis. You can find me on the 5-Minute News YouTube channel and podcast on Wednesdays co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with Midas Touch. Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.